Ross wants you to know he's still the boss.
You know, the show goes on.
He lives in the largest house in the state of Georgia, and next week, thousands of people are invited for his annual car and bike show.
What happened to us last year was a nightmare.
That's what his neighbors are saying after last year's event got so crowded, they were blocked out of their own homes.
It has to do with the safety and welfare of these citizens.
What county leaders are trying to do to put a stop to it, and why lawyers are now getting involved.
There's no reason for this not to go on.
I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates. Is Rick Ross a bad neighbor? In the last year, his buffalo escaped and ended up on somebody's lawn. They eventually caught it, and he later vowed to raise his fence so his farm animals don't escape. That was in March, and now Mr. Rose has something else that's big on his plate. His second annual car and bike show. Last year, 6,500 people showed up, and according to Ross, it was a success, but his neighbors disagree.
It's an old neighborhood. We need to keep it safe.
I had a graduation to go to, couldn't even get back to my house to change my clothes.
And if Rick Ross goes through with his planned car and bike show on June 3rd, neighbors say it'll be at the expense of public safety. They took their concerns to a Fayette County Board of Commissioners meeting back in April after what they say they experienced last year.
The people trying to get into his estate, his security people were searching them for weapons. So it just backed the traffic up forever. There were just hoodlums running around the whole area.
I went to check out the neighborhood myself and ran into Samuel Green.
Yeah, I'm just going to make the best of it.
He says he's never had an issue with his neighbor Rick Ross, and in fact looks forward to the excitement that it brings to the area.
They concern was person and mercy personnel getting in and out. Personally, don't bother me because I enjoy cars and I like cars.
Ross calls his estate the Promised Land. It sits on 235 acres in Fayetteville, Georgia, which is a suburb about 25 miles south of Atlanta. The show, it'll cost $320 to get in, and both Ross and rap star Gucci Mane are set to perform. Ross told TMZ that last year's show was so successful that he wanted to do it again.
This year I invested a lot more about the traffic, just doing it for the community, for my neighbors. I really went above and beyond, and it's going to be a great event anyway.
The Shade Room spoke to Ross's attorney, LaRon Rogers, who says that they've drafted a major safety plan. Every guest will be bused onto the property from private parking lots nearby.
They gave us a list of things that they would like for us to handle, including traffic. And, they wanted us to hire their EMS. They wanted us to hire their police officers, so they can take that off of their costs and their payroll for the day, which we agreed to do.
There will be 250 security personnel on site. Fayette County also asked them to add police barricades, double-layered chain-linked fences, and signs that say no parking to keep onlookers from loitering.
We were in communications with them regarding a number of details. And then less than 10 hours later, we receive a letter saying, saying that the special use permit under the Zoning and Planning Commission was denied.
This is the letter from the Director of Zoning and Planning citing concerns over safety, noise, and traffic. It states that the car and bike show was previously, quote, allowed as a conditional use, characterizing the event as a horse show, rodeo, carnival, and or community fair. The staff has determined that the event is not one of those things. So Ross's legal team sent a response letter.
There's no reason for this not to go on.
It says that the county is not complying with their own policies. Quote, as was done last year, our client plans to incorporate livestock, including horses, into the event's festivities. Last year, there were several tours to show participants our client's horses, and our client also had a professional horse rider who provided horse rides to attendees at the event. It goes on to say that, quote, the event falls squarely within the definitions of both a fair and a carnival, since it is an organized program of entertainment and amusement in the form of music, cars, and livestock.
It's a lot of money that we bring into the city, as well as entertainment, as well as music. This city should pay me for this.
Just shocking to not get that type of reception from the county when we have bent over backwards to just do the right thing and be a good neighbor.
You do have neighbors that are saying that Rick Ross is not a good neighbor.
First of all, I would beg to differ that he is a good neighbor, right? I mean, his property is immaculate. It's beautiful. It's not, when he bought it, it was not in a good shape. If you remember, the prior owner was not paying their taxes. But if they're really looking at any concern for public safety or a traffic plan, all of that's been resolved. So I would just really ask, what more do you want from him to do?
So the show will go on. Ross's team says they're now working on a path forward to make this event a success. Ross also says he's become fed up with county leadership and is now putting his name in a bid to become the next mayor of Fayetteville. When asked about that, he says that changes need to be made and he's the one that could do it. For TSR Investigates, I'm Justin Carter.